Hello everybody, it's Gerard from GH Immigration Services here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I would like to do the update on the extended travel restrictions for extended members coming into Canada that was just announced October the 8th from Immigration Canada. Now I have notes here that I have to kind of glance at and try to make sure that I cover all the points, so please bear with me. Now we all know that the death of a loved one or a critical illness or a serious injury is very imperative that you're here with a family member. It's very stressful if you're in a different country and under these certain circumstances you can't be here. That would be like an emotional catastrophe for many people. So Immigration Canada has relaxed some of the restrictions for individuals that meet these categories, and we'll go through who qualifies and some of the things that are required. Okay, before we go into this, first do remember, do not make any travel plans until you've met all the requirements and receive all the authorizations to come here to Canada. You don't want to get off the plane wherever it lands, if it's in Toronto or Montreal or Vancouver, and them say, I'm sorry, you're not coming in. You do not qualify. You don't have everything that's required. Okay? So, back to it. Now, let's see. Now, the members that qualify, if you're in an exclusive relationship, dating relationship, and you have had personal contact with this individual and you have been in this relationship for more than 1 year, this is a person who qualifies. Non-dependent children, so people over the age of 22 years old, they do qualify as well under this program. Grandparents do qualify. Your grandchildren do qualify. Also, siblings, which include half-brothers and half-sisters, as well as stepbrothers and stepsisters, all do qualify as well. Remember, the travel has to be non-discretionary and non-optional, which means it has to happen. You have to be here because of some very, very dire need. This is not a visitation thing. This is for people that have to come here because a family member or a family needs them here. And you have to prove it. Okay? You do have to prove it. It's not just something that they're taking lightly, because the COVID virus is still very much in play. Okay, some of the things you need to know is you have to be staying here for more than 15 days. So because you're into quarantine for 14 days, so if you're going to come here only for 14 days, you won't even get a chance to move outside of your quarantine area. And you have to leave, and so you have to prove that as well. You have to provide the IRCC with the required documents that include a statutory declaration that shows they meet the definition of extended family member of a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. Okay, you meet admissibility requirements. No matter what, you still have to meet all the requirements of a individual for admissibility. If you have a criminal record or have been refused for other reasons that you filed before and you are banned from Canada, those things are still very much in play. So you're traveling with a valid passport or proper documentation, and you have written permission from the IRCC to travel to Canada, and there is a form that has to be filled out for you to do that as well. Remember, like everybody else, you have the 14-day quarantine once you're here and your period on arrival. And in that 14-day quarantine, one of the things that you're going to ask when they're doing the paperwork up, you have to have a plan and have to show what you're going to do for that 14 days. They're not just going to take your word for it. There has to be a plan. So doing things like if you are going to a loved one's home, access to your own private bathroom, and you have your own private room bathroom. You have to have people bring your food to you, things like that. Everything. If you have medication in that, make sure you bring enough medication that you have with you. If there's a medical emergency, well, then there's other arrangements that have to be made as well. So remember that you have to consider everything that you're living here normally, but you are under absolute restrictions because the possibility you came in contact with somebody that has the virus. So you have to prove that to Immigration Canada. So no matter what, when you land at the airport, Doesn't matter which airport or if you're coming in through the border or if you're landing in an airport or whatever the case is, the border security still has the last say. They're the ones that still have the right to say, no, you do not meet all the requirements. So make sure that when you travel, you have all your requirements with you. You have your plan with you. You have your letters, your passport, every single thing that you have done to make sure that you get the authorization to come here. You have a copy of it with you to prove it at the border, because they won't let you in. And that is something you don't want to happen, especially with the cost of travel. And you're already under enough stress as it is. You don't need that. And they're not very forgiving if you don't have what they require. Okay, so if you're staying at a loved one's place, make sure you have a copy of the layout of the house so you can show where the quarantines, where you're going to stay, like I said, how the family's planning on taking care of while you're there. Have that plan all in detail. Make sure that you just have a good overall quarantine plan. Also, they are releasing an additional process for compassionate reasons, like end of life support of critically ill, medical support, or attending a funeral or end of life ceremonies. So there's something else, but that will be on the Public Health Agency of Canada website from October the 8th. Anyways, I just wanted to go over these things. If you have any more questions about it and want anything defined a little bit more, please don't hesitate to contact me. I hope you found this informative. Just remember, do not make any plans until you have everything in place. Do not buy your tickets. Do not just make any out-of-pocket costs in that. Remember, when you're planning on going from the airport to the house or wherever you're staying for your quarantine, you have to have a plan there as well. So make sure you look at every detail when you're applying to come here, because they will make sure that when you land at the border crossing, if you don't have everything, they won't let you in. So anyways, thanks for listening. I hope you found this very important and very informative. Again, this is Gerard from GH Immigration Services here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And thank you for watching this, and have yourself a good day and stay safe.